We have been grafted in. So we get grafted in when we have faith and we believe in Jesus, that he is the Son of God. Now that is the new and everlasting covenant. Let me just read a few scriptures so that you understand the new and everlasting covenant. I haven't said much about the Mosaic covenant. I wanted first for us to understand the new and everlasting covenant. So the new and everlasting covenant says, I read last week from Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 3. It says, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Okay, so what is that covenant that he makes in Jeremiah? And we read that Jeremiah 31 to 34. It says, the time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their forefathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them, declares the Lord. This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after that time, declares the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people. No longer will a man teach his neighbor or a man his brother, saying, know the Lord, because they will know me from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their wickedness and remember their sins no more. It is so important for us to understand this word that God has given us. It is so important. Why? First of all, it says it's a new covenant. So Yeshua gave us a new and everlasting covenant. And it says in this covenant that it says, I will make the house of Israel, I will put my law, which means I will put my word in their minds and write it upon their hearts. I want to say a little bit more about the mind. So when we were created, God put his breath through the nostrils. He breathed into man. Now, man, God created many creatures. Out of the hundreds of creatures we know that there are probably two, man and monkeys and gorillas and that family, that can stand perpendicular and walk. But we also know that gorillas are limited, that they can walk, straight, horizontally, but generally they also walk on fours. Man does not walk on fours. The only time a human being walks on fours is when we are learning to walk. A very short period of time when we are babies, we go on all fours. But we stand like this. Now, why does God have us? What is the reason? There are many reasons, but one of the reasons is when he made us, he put his breath in us. Now, where was the breath put in? Through the nostrils. So it means God's breath was put into your mind. That's why you have to have the mind of Christ. If somebody asks you, so where's the Spirit of God dwelling? Some people point to the bottom of their stomachs and say, the inner man. The Spirit of God is working in your mind. The way you think is a reflection of who you are. We have been given the mind of God. God spoke his word. We are part of his imagination. He did not imagine us in his stomach. He imagined us. So the brain is a gift God has given you. You must make sure that you use it. It's a powerful organ God has given you. Use it to the full. Use it to be creative. Use it to answer problems, to be an answer to the needs of the cries of many. And you do it through what you feed your brain with. Because this is where God writes his laws. He writes them in your brain. That's why it's important for you what? To think the right way, to feed yourself with the right information. God speaks to us through our minds.